We are now going to read Ken Chen, aka Hotbids, who was previously with BTS, his statement regarding what happened. Hard to taking this 32 pager seriously, but since I was called out, I'll respond in a thread. Here's me talking to Alan about how running to Nintendo and banging on doors about broadcast rights is potentially an existential threat to the entire scene. It's okay. So these are screenshots of this actually happening. We'll work on an outline plan. Both the tournaments selling broadcast rights and broadcast being monetized. It's been like this for 8 years. They have a problem with that now. It's been 100 plus events for that. Well, I hope they don't. That would be pretty catastrophic for every single event. Yeah, so Ken's saying we purchased the broadcast rights to Riptide, Big House, Shine, etc. Twitch buys the platform broadcast for us, and we bought them from tournaments. Well, I hope they don't do that. That will be pretty catastrophic for every single event. I don't know what they're thinking right now, but yeah, it could get rough in some situations. Well, I hope not. That would be bad. That would be real bad. In the call that Alan threatened BTS multiple times, I reported the threats as the call were happening and directly after to LD, my boss at the time. LD was not on the call, but was there as I typed a transcript of it on Slack. Here's a screenshot of me doing that. Dude, Alan's on the call, legit threatening me about 2023, was on the call. LD, WTF. To be clear, I did not yell or explode at Alan at all. All right, there is... You know what I love about these is that, like, when people say, like, the exact opposite about each other, you know, because it's just like, maybe they were both yelling. He was extremely hostile and exhausting to talk to. In fact, part of the reason I left BTS to join Team Liquid in June was because I never wanted to deal with Alan or Panda again. I confided this to multiple people as I left. Yeah. That's true. Panda themselves issued a statement saying that they regret Alan threatening BTS, yet he completely denies it happened here. Issued a statement saying that they regret Alan threatening BTS, yet he completely denies it happened here. I don't accept your apology here because even though you don't actually apologize, you even say accept Ken and only admit the conversation was perceived wrong. Yeah. Okay. Remember what I was saying, that there is a complete contradiction here? Panda themselves issued a statement saying they regret Alan threatening BTS, yet completely denies it happened here. That was what I was referring to. BTS refused to collaborate with Alan largely because of his conduct, not because of me. I simply reported the exact truth of the conversation with LD, and other BTS leadership can verify happened right after the call, with Alan in March. I have not been publicly and privately turning people against Panda for months. I've simply been telling the honest story of what happened, which was threats and bullying that Panda, his own org, even admitted to happening. I am not some crazy boogeyman trying to take Panda down. I'm someone that cares about the Smash scene and knew this exact situation would play out like it did. The reason I didn't say shit since March, when BTS was threatened, was precisely because I didn't want to blow this up. Oh. So they're both claiming neither person spoke because of Panda team does acknowledge and regret interaction, which he spoke in a matter which does not reflect either guidance from Nintendo or to our own standards. Does not equal Alan threatened BTS. I can corroborate that at Summit in November 21, I was verbatim told that Smash World Tour won't exist anymore. So being involved in both circuits was not something I'd have to worry about. As for the NDA talking about real estate, an absolute... As for the NDA talking about real estate, an absolutely hilarious thing to include in this. I'm more than willing to post the entire NDA if Panda allows me to. Multiple people have confirmed their NDAs have the real estate language in it. It's just a failed copy and paste job. Holy shit. LD dropped a thread too. Okay. Jesus. Alan's account of the entire situation with BTS is so disjointed and riddled with lies, it's difficult to respond. Holy fuck. Oh, boy. I don't even know where to start with it. This conversation transcript he posted with me is not what happened, full stop. Not even close. Seriously, what the fuck? Where he was saying, like, don't you want to make money? Yeah. I wasn't trying to get TOs to turn on Panda. They privately complained about Alan constantly to me. I'll let the other TOs say their own story about it, but at some point, dealing with it took up so much of my time, I couldn't work on anything else for BTS. Yeah, I'm not some bogeyman that orchestrated this whole takedown. The other TOs did work with Alan because they didn't like his conduct. They didn't trust him as a good rep to Nintendo, and what he offering wasn't good enough. Press 1 if all the TOs right now need to come out and speak. Or the ones at hand. Because because otherwise, we have no clue what the fuck is the yeah, we need everyone to speak. The Smash World Tour is largely accurate, at least to the stuff about BTS. Anyone that knows the history between VGBC and BTS understands I would not say this unless it was the truth. I don't work for BTS anymore, but I still care about Smash more than any competition between orgs. When we first invited Alan to come to Summit and talk about the Panda Cup circuit in November 2021, the first thing out of his mouth was how Smash World Tour was going to get shut down. Dozens of people heard it, and many can corroborate this. In November 2021, over a year from the Smash World Tour Championships in 2022, he stated that. The next screenshot is nuts. I have no idea how to respond to this, but been running Smash events for 8 years. I've been part of many communities, including StarCraft and Dota, and I think my relationships and track record speaks for itself. And where he's saying Ken was willing to jeopardize the entire Smash community. And this right here was the corroborator. Deer was at this conversation when he heard that Smash World Tour won't exist anymore, so he didn't have to be worried. Because Deer runs Galint, but more importantly, he runs Battle of BC. So he has a TO. To all Panda Global employees, I'm sorry this guy... Ken has a way with words that just fucks me up, dude. To all Panda Global employees, I'm sorry this guy happened to you. Oh my god. He's a fucking savage. For those that are departing, I hope you find good homes elsewhere. You don't deserve to have your careers and the brand you built destroyed by one person. We are officially in war. We are officially in civil war. I left BTS and joined Liquid for a variety of reasons, but part of it was definitely not having to deal with Alan Panda again. It was not the major reason, was part of it. The only time I've seen Hotbid yell at anyone the way Alan describes is when he is in Mafia in a literal game of Mafia. It's impossible for me to take anything Alan says seriously when faced with such an extreme claim that as far as I can tell, nobody has corroborated. Has anyone corroborated with Panda yet? With Alan yet? After reading Alan's blog and piecing it together with everything else I know, here's my TLDR of what I believe happened. Okay, this could be a very good alternate timeline. Pay attention here. This could be the truth. Apparently, what could have happened is Alan sold the Smash circuit to Nintendo without actually getting buy-in from the vast majority of tentpole Smash events. Nobody wants to commit Twitter suicide by siding with Alan. That is true. That is true. Because people were getting doxxed. Legitimately, even Panda employees couldn't defend him because people were that crazy. That's never cool. Can I just say that? That is the most lame shit, coward-ass pussy shit to do that. Like, speak your mind. Roast people online, but don't get their fucking family, physical threats. The fuck, are you crazy? You fucking crazy? What? I'm not even with them. I'm just like, what? You're crazy. Alan sold a Smash circuit to Nintendo without actually getting buy-in from the vast majority of tentpole Smash events. This is obvious from the fact that most major events were not on the Panda Cup in 2022. After selling our events without our input, he then scrambled to get us all on board. Interesting. So he basically got like a verbal, like, yeah, we'll be part of it, without the buy-in. By his own admission, Alan, a newcomer with no real relationships to most TOs, made poor and constantly changing offers on an extremely tight timeline without even bothering to keep key parties informed throughout the process. TOs have real costs and deadlines to hit. Since Alan showed a complete lack of understanding of the economics and concerns we face, most understandably decided to not sign onto the cup. TOs have been terrified of Nintendo involvement ever since EVO 2013. Alan had spent months positioning himself publicly and privately as the conduit to Nintendo. Then, what TOs didn't immediately sign onto the Panda Cup, Alan started dropping vague comments about the dangers of being unlicensed and possibilities of shutdown. To say this behavior should be taken as threatening is either deliberately deceitful or shows a total lack of business acumen. Neither great traits in a guy who is telling you to give him the keys to your events and all of Smash based on trust and little else. Right. Alan started dropping vague comments about the dangers of being unlicensed and possibilities of shutdown. So, I understand what probably happened here. Like, Alan didn't say, we're gonna shut you down. Alan probably said something along the lines of, you do realize you guys can't broadcast events next year without a license, right? In that way. Where I don't think you're supposed to say that in business negotiations, but to Alan's mind, it wasn't threatening. But to their mind, it was a threat. Because it was a devil in the details. Alan tries to make you question why Smash World Tour would get a license with Nintendo, since last year they did it with no license. If you read Smash World Tour statements, they say Nintendo approached them about the license. Yeah, there's a lot of things that aren't adding up on the side there. So that's LD's statement. And now moving on. Mikey, the cheat.com, who's obviously heading BTS Smash stuff. The way Alan describes Ken's behavior is frankly insane, and he so clearly needs to paint that in the particular as the reason these events have played out, while simultaneously, I am in like 7 group chats where TOs still shoot shit with him. Should tell you a lot about who's Mafia here. Can I say I love this Mafia metaphor? Can I say the fact that BTS is the place where we play Mafia makes it so much funnier? Someone here is Town. Someone here is Mafia. Then who's the cop? Am I the cop? Boback tweeted. Oh shit, hold on. Oh my god, hold on. Statement from Genesis. Holy fuck. Let me finish this. I'm cop. I guess I'm cop, right? I'm cop right now. The journalists are cops. Okay. The way Alan describes Ken, yeah. So he's basically saying, I was on the call. I remember I would follow Ken Chen into war. BTS is like firm, dude. I would follow him into fucking war. Which now we are in, ladies and gentlemen, we are in war. These are war times. To be clear, you were saying on the call between Hotbit and Alan that they're arguing about. As the unnamed person? Yes. Oh, he was the other guy on the call. Which makes Mikey Vigilante. Ken again. Also, here's us predicting this drama and situation happening in March, which is why I didn't speak out earlier about this whole thing. I did not want the entire community Panda as an org to suffer. No, wait. Vigilante is the guy with the one bullet who shoots it. But they want to uncover the truth. I think Smash World Tour is Vig. Anyway, also, here's us predicting this drama situation happening in March, which is why I didn't speak out earlier about this whole thing. I did not want the entire community / Panda as an org to suffer. Screenshot from Slack. It sounds like he's so desperate he's trying to get Nintendo to bully TOs into working with Panda. I don't think that could ever happen, though. This is in March. March 14th. And guess what March 14th is? It's fucking Pie Day. Piece of the pie. This all adds up. He's he's desperate trying to get Nintendo to bully TOs into working with Panda. Yeah, I don't think that could even happen though. Bro, there's pie, there's carrots, PM caught strays, and yeah, the response is definitely a massive PR response, which gets the entire community to say fuck Panda and fuck Nintendo. Because Nintendo does actually care about public backlash, and this would be basically EVO 2.0. The biggest public backlash in history. It would be shutting down every major TO's ability to sell sponsors and broadcast rights. They literally called it in March. Literally. So yeah, this is Ken proving back in March he didn't want this shit to happen, obviously. Crimson Blur said, there's so much in this new statement to parse that frankly I have a hard time digesting it all, but since his name was brought up, I'd like to stand for a friend, Hotbid. Hotbid is one of the best people in the industry and doesn't deserve to be styled like this. This is so ugly. To add on to this, I like the set of situation that happened between Genesis and BTS. That Hotbid could have completely thrashed us over privately and publicly, but didn't really get even mad or remotely raise a voice to us, and kept us as a friend and business partner. During the negotiations for Genesis 6, we gave BTS a verbal agreement for them to be our partner, but I had forgotten I personally had promised VGBC they'd have a chance to counteroffer. A week later, I had to walk the verbal offer back and say we're going with VGBC. We had a discussion where Ken frankly but cordially said he was very disappointed and didn't like how the negotiation was handled, that Ken is completely at odds with the Ken and Allen statement. Holy fucking shit. Boback, head TO of Genesis. I got some shit to say. Not going into detail, but from the very first moment Allen opened his mouth to the last time we spoke, nothing but Voldemort type beat. Yeah, dude. Allen, from the very first moment Allen opened his mouth to the very last time we spoke, nothing but snake-like sounds could be heard. Like that shit in Harry Potter. What the fuck is going on, dude? Fucking parcel tongue? Oh my. I'm losing it, dude. I am Alright, the thread. I've had the misfortune of dealing with a lot of manipulative people in my life. So when I hear him talk, I was immediately put on guard. The gaslighting, the doubt he would cast on things I would say, the way he would play victim saying he's not doing this for himself, etc., etc. One thing for sure was that was constantly reiterated in our calls was that Smash World Tour would be canceled, that Smash World Tour was blacklisted, that Gimmer was blacklisted, and it was only a matter of time before they were shut down, because trust me, I know. Trust me was the term he used a lot. This is why it's important for the other TOs to speak up, because it gives you all the angles. And that's the confirmation. Confirmation from BTS and Genesis that said he knew Smash World Tour would be canceled and shut down. That Gimmer was blacklisted. So, if Allen is saying in a statement that he wasn't trying to shut down, both Panda and I have done absolutely nothing to harm Smash World Tour in any way, nor sabotage any Smash World Tour business efforts, license efforts, or otherwise, period. He didn't do anything. And yet, this directly counters that. Because telling people that Smash World Tour would be canceled, telling people that Smash World Tour was blacklisted, and that Gimmer was blacklisted, doesn't it? That could still be legally true. Hold on. One thing for sure, Smash World Tour would be canceled, Smash World Tour was blacklisted, and the Gimmer was blacklisted. It was only a matter of time before they were shut down, because, trust me, I know. There was no trust. He at one point called himself the savior of Smash on a call, when he went on a rant about how great of a position he's in to do good for the community, and how all his hard work is paying off to bring everyone together. Make no mistake, he had no plans on uniting the scene on a larger scale. He had no plans on propping Melee up or how to onboard new players. His plan that he told us was to push ult away, way more to the masses, and gain the casual audience, go mainstream. In one call, it was confirmed that he was to be the licensee broker of the whole scene. This had to be the potential to be really... That would have made Alan the most powerful person in the Smash community. That would have made Alan literally the most powerful person in the entire Smash community. And it wouldn't be close. You know who I'd give that to? Bobby Scar. Anyways. This has the potential to be really, really bad for everyone. That means eventually, if he wanted to, you would have to be part of the Panda Cup to get a license. One person having the keys. And look, one person should never have the keys, right? Even in, there was like a community that was always, it was never just one person, it was a group of people, the band committee and all that. So Boback said he had no plans on the United scene. He had no plans on propping Melee up. And here's Kadoran's statement.
Potentially signing me, what would get the ground rolling to have me sponsored under Panda? And straight up, what Dr. Allen told me was like, yeah, the thing is that I don't really believe in Melee. I just don't believe in Melee. Because the numbers just aren't there. The numbers just aren't there. Like, I believe in Ultimate more because, there's all these YouTube numbers, and then you look at Melee's YouTube numbers, and it's just not there. And, if I were to sign someone like you, it's like, I would maybe give you, like, $500 a month.
Bro... And Kadoran wouldn't lie about that. Kadoran has no reason to lie about that. And let me just finish this. This Boback thread is insane. And this clip, by the way, that Kadoran clip was from yesterday. That Kadoran clip was from yesterday before Boback even said anything. This has the potential to be really, really bad for everyone. That means eventually, if he wanted to, you would have to be part of the Panda Cup to get a license. One person having the keys is definitely not okay, no matter who the fuck it is. His vision didn't stop there. He also wanted to sanitize every event, take the personality of each event, and impose his own vision that he said was superior to what everyone else was trying to do at the moment. Holy fuck. I mean, yeah, by introducing an analyst desk or stats which cost money to use, even if you were on the Panda Cup, you give up your broadcast and any kind of creative vision you might have had, be stamped with a Panda logo and taken over. This was something I was not okay with. Also, I'm pretty sure if you're on like the Panda Cup Nintendo, you can't cuss, right? For example, at CEO, you were not allowed to cuss. You just couldn't do it. I'm not saying cussing is like we have to do it, but anyways, there was too much risk on our end to ever be okay with any of his proposals. We had to take on all the financial burdens, the risk, and give up a lot of what we worked for over the last 13 years just so the fuck could ride in on his donkey and claim for himself. Jeez. We pushed back. We had existing broadcast agreements with them, and any agreement short of them buying us out of the agreement would be directly damaging to us. 3 days later, Alan says Nintendo wants to talk to us about the legality of tournament broadcasts on our channel. To finish the Boback thread, there was too much risk on our end to ever be okay with any of his proposals. We had to take on all the financial burdens, the risk, and give up a lot of what we've worked hard to do over the last 13 years, just so this fuck could ride on his donkey and claim it for himself. I can go on and on, but generally most of the shit he's saying in that 31-page garbage tweet is a lie. It's riddled with manipulative ways of speaking, and it's just more of what I expect from a guy who thinks he's the fucking savior of Smash. One last thing I want to chime in on is about Ken. Ken is by far one of the most personally influential people I've ever met in my life. The guidance he's given us, the support, professionalism they've shown us, has been something that I will forever be thankful for. You want to be actually talk about someone giving a fuck about the scene? We wouldn't be where we are without him. Genesis as a whole, we would probably have gone under years ago if it wasn't for him telling us where we were fucking up and how to do better. He's been an integral part of the scene, and I can confidently say that without BTS and his work there, we would be much work off. This PJ deal, Papa John's, quite literally allowed us to keep the lights on for Genesis 8. He went to bat for the whole community and every chance we got, with no expectations of being paid back in any way because he truly loves the scene. Alan says this, but he's never been involved in the scene like he claims to have been. He didn't even understand how tournaments operated. In the end, though, we don't do this shit for money. We do it for this shit because we fucking love the games and we love the people that are involved. Alan's vision was to impose his own fucked up sanitized version and shove it down everyone's throats while dangling a license over your head. G9 is coming up without BTS. We wouldn't be able to operate. Being on the Panda Cup meant that giving that up and upending our years-long relationships with established members of the community for one person's greed and lust. Greed and lust. Oof, the verbiage. To be the man in charge. Fuck that. Now go register for Genesis 9. Man. In one night, dude, we've gotten some of the most insane tweets. Like this, am I reading this? Like, am I reading this? This is incredible. I'm in awe. Like that shit in Harry Potter. You know what would be the icing on the cake if Armada came out of nowhere and he said, I have some things to say about Panda and Alan, and it is not good. He wouldn't do that, but that would be hilarious. The power goes back further. Communism. I was on vacation the past week and not involved with Panda's first statement. However, it was written by members of the team and passed through 2 different PR firms. I can confirm that statement below was about Alan raising in his voice in a call with Ken and nothing else. The initial response being full of business speak and written by oversight firms definitely didn't help. He did mention that they used PR firms. That's why the wording was so not good. Coney, Panda got with me in 2019, was full-time in 2020. In 4 years working with Alan, he never gave me a reason to think him greedy or manipulative. I truly don't know what happened to get us to this point. It's just awful to see the entire scene growing to be called the fuck back. And just to be clear, VDBC are long-term friends of mine. Same for Justin at Smash World Tour. It meant a lot to me for Nintendo to send this sort of nebulous messaging they did to Smash World Tour, especially the day before Thanksgiving, is heinous and indefensible. This all just fucking sucks. The way I see it, Alan called us and tried to insinuate that he was going to slam dunk, going to get all the TOs on Panda Cup, and Nintendo was acquiring streams to be on Panda Cup channels because that way they would have a greater degree of control content therein. My take is this. I think everyone is going to defend Ken because they've worked with Ken and he's been good with everyone, and I have no doubt about that. The one thing that really strikes me, this right here. This right here, I don't think anyone knew. This is huge. Because we didn't know this until there, right? It's like, didn't Alan basically admit as much? Yeah, remind me, in the Panda or Alan statements, was this made clear or no? Was this made clear to anyone? 'Cause I don't recall. This, by the way, is something Nintendo walked back immediately. When Alan talks about concessions he made to Panda Cup tournaments on this shit, it comes after Nintendo had calls with all of your favorite tournaments and realized he was scaring the ever-loving fuck out of them. Alan, looking at every other game, said this is what we need to do if we want to be like them. And the Smash community responded, but we don't want to be like them. Fiend. That is true. I think this part right here, to me is the biggest takeaway. That Panda or Dr. Allen was being actually handed, he's being handed the keys to him being the one to say you can or can't run anything for the rest of the year. It is frightening, allegedly. Allegedly. This is what Boback is claiming. But I don't know how to even... Nintendo gets the last say, not Alan. I'm refraining from. I'm trying to understand this shit. I have like 1,800 pages open. Hold on. And where's the PM statement? I cannot get over like this quote. That is so fucking unhinged. Nintendo used Alan to get a foothold control in the Smash scene, and Alan took the Devil's Temptation. So hi, Bozo. Thank you. 169. Who do you guys want to hear a statement from? Now that all this is out there in the air, who do you want to hear from now? I guess Smash World Tour for sure, VTBC. Nintendo, obviously. I think right now, yeah. First of all, I will say this. Everyone loses. Everyone loses big time. I don't think Ken was the issue here. But I think, in my opinion, because he was heading BTS and was making the decisions on that, it's like he didn't want to take the risk of signing on to a circuit, not knowing like what was going to happen.